Hi, welcome to the Vancouver Island Business and Lifestyle Show. I'm your host, Phil Rossner, and in this episode, we're going to head up the west coast of Vancouver Island to the township of Sooka, where we're going to talk to a couple of business owners, and then we're going to come back to Victoria to meet with a massage therapist. Are you ready? Let's go. Today we're on southern Vancouver Island in the township of Sooka, and here we are lounging among large bags of coffee beans at the Stick in the Mud Coffee in Sooka, BC. And the proprietor of what we call the Stick is David Evans. Hi, welcome David.
Thanks, Phil.
Hi, good to see you.
I'm glad you came in.
Yeah, thank you. So David, could you please give us a bit of a history about the Stick?
Yeah. Stop me if you need to.
Yeah.
We opened 07. And the reason that I wanted to build a place like the Stick in Sooka was that I had very young kids. And living in Otter Point, which is 15 kilometers west of where we're sitting, we found we often had 3 or 4 or 5 trips to make into and out of Sooka to get the kids to something or back from something or go to groceries or pick up a pizza. And there was no place to go. Like between times.
Right.
So if you had an hour to spend and you wanted to sit down and socialize, there was nowhere that was really welcoming that would take all people. So I opened the Stick and tried to build what it has become, a bit of a community hub.
Yeah, I was just going to say. And also, I understand that for many years now, you've won like the Best of Sooka Business Awards. The community of Sooka has really been very kind to us. I think 4 years in the past 7, we've been nominated by the community, and then selected by the Chamber of Commerce judges at the Chamber of Commerce Awards of Excellence as the Business of the Year. Mm-hmm. I think 2014, 16, 18, and 19, or maybe I'm wrong. 13, 15, 17, and 19. Anyway. Many years,
yeah,
anyway.
Yeah,
it's been
really flattering. A lot of great businesses in Sooka, a lot of wonderful people doing terrific things. Yeah. And so for us to be singled out, I think what it says really is that we don't have any enemies.
Okay.
that we've got a wide base of loyal customers.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And is there anything specific? I mean, as you say, this has become kind of a community hub for Sooka. Is there anything specific that you can point to, or is it just kind of the general feeling of the place?
I think it's important that we're inclusive. I mean, a lot of places you can go to and you feel that the service is a little bit aloof, or there's something that they're keeping a secret from you. We try to maintain that everyone's welcome. And I often remind my staff that we sell stimulants. We're serving caffeine and sugar. I mean, if people don't leave the place happier than when they arrived, we've messed up somewhere.
Right.
So I think the reason that it has the feeling it does is because of the customers and the staff. That chemistry that they've been able to build and maintain. Long-time staff, long-time customers. Right. We've only been here 12 and a half years, but we have staff who've been here for 11 and 12 years. Wow. Some of them we've got a lot of staff who have been here for over 5. And actually at 5 years, they get a portrait done by a local artist and it goes on the wall.
Oh, wow.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And we've got a couple approaching that in the next year or so.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So that's a key, I think, is to have continuity of product, continuity of staff, and then people they feel like they're a part of it. Coffee is a bit of a routine. It's a habit. It's an addiction for many people.
Yeah.
And so if you're constantly changing up the staff or changing up what you're doing, you're driving business away in this industry.
Right. Okay. So, as I mentioned in the opening,
we're sitting here amongst these huge bags of beans. Can you tell us a bit about this?
Yeah. Although we opened 07, the Stick in the Mud began roasting in January 2010, so we've just had our 10th anniversary of roasting. And so each of these sacks is about 60 or 70 kilograms, depending on where they're from. These Colombians, I think, are 60 or 70 kilograms. There's some Congo over there, there's some Burundi, some Brazil, some Honduras, some Ethiopian. Yeah, this room is full of our blending staple components. And we've been really fortunate to grow our roasting business at the same time we've grown our retail business out front with a cafe. And we now serve about 30 or 40 other restaurants, cafes, hotels, places like that. So all of these sacks of beans are going to be either roasted and brewed up for us in the shop or shipped off to other cafes on the island. Yeah, we used to buy pallets at a time, which was up to 10 sacks.
Right.
And recently we've begun buying, truckloads of coffee, 50 or 60 sacks. And it's really beneficial. The economies of scale are good, and we go through the product fast enough that we can maintain freshness here.
Cool. So you're obviously a mainstay in the community. Any aspirations to expand and become the next Tim Hortons?
Yeah, we're going to unveil our plans to rule the world.
Okay.
No, quite honestly, we did have 3 locations for a while there. We had actually the room we're sitting in was an area that we called Speed Stick, and we had another satellite location at a local hotel in their lobby. And for a few reasons, it just made sense to pare back and focus on the core single cafe and roastery. And honestly, that's where our growth lies. It lies in finding more wholesale accounts for our coffee beans. And the cafe becomes kind of an example of what a cafe can be. For new wholesale accounts who want to open up a coffee shop or want to, take over an existing one, they can sort of see what we do and see that this is a proof of concept, that this does work. And with the support we offer them, with the machinery we provide at no charge, and the training that we give them as well. So no, the aspirations are just to do more of the same.
Okay, cool. So going way back now to when you were quite young, did you ever think that you would become an owner of a coffee establishment?
Dude,
back then?
I didn't even drink coffee until I was 37.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was. I used to be a freelance writer for magazines.
Oh, okay.
And friends of mine will constantly remind me of this article I wrote for Western Living back in probably 1997 or 98.
Yeah.
And it was on how tea is superior to coffee, not just as a flavor, but as a philosophy.
Right.
And how the mighty fall, right? I realized what this problem was, is I'd never had a good cup.
Right.
So at age 37, I was served a good cup of coffee, made with care and attention by someone who I knew and respected and loved. And they made me this coffee and served it to me. And then I went, oh, what have I been missing?
Right.
And then I dove deep into coffee.
Yeah. It's interesting you say that, because I didn't really start drinking coffee until a couple of years ago. Before that, it was like, I don't know, I'll stick to my tea. And occasionally, if I ever went to Europe and went to France and had the café au lait, that was a big deal. But apart from that,
Well, France played heavily into my conversion to coffee, but I wasn't there.
Okay.
I have this friend, Richard, and he and we were just tea geeks, and we would sit in his garage in East Vancouver and work on our Vespas and drink tea and listen to ska music.
Right.
And then one day we're in his garage, and he heard himself put a screwdriver into his hand and something like that. And he's like, let's go get an espresso. And I was like, whoa, hang on, we're tea guys. What do you mean? And it was like, well, ever since I came back from France, I've really been enjoying strong coffee. And he explained this, he painted this wonderful picture of the scene that coffee could create.
Right.
It's like he said, we'd only have one meal a day, but it would last all day long. We'd wake up late and go to the market and buy our things for dinner, and then make dinner, and friends would come over, and then around 10 o'clock at night, we'd have a cup of coffee and carry on until midnight or 2 in the morning.
Right.
And I realized I was never going to experience that unless I went out and tried coffee.
Right. You know what, Dave? I think I need a coffee.
I've got lots out front.
Thanks so much for being on our show.
Thank you for coming in.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us. Next, we're going to head over to West Coast Natural Foods and have a chat with them. West Coast Natural Foods in Sooka, and we're here with Karam Barzekar.
That's right.
Hi, Karam.
Nice to meet
Thank you for
Thanks
being
for
on the
coming
show.
in here. Thank you for this
Thank you.
opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, could you start, Karam, by telling us just a little bit about your history?
I came in Canada close to 40 years ago
Okay.
and started in Toronto, and over 23 years I was there.
Okay. So before you came here and opened this store, or took over this store,
Yeah.
were you still involved in this kind of a business before?
Not this kind of business. I was in running a computer store and a
Okay.
computer business, and but I always interested into health and into the herbs, which is always I've been using all
Right.
my life, and always I remember even when I was kid, my mom always, and she never took her to the doctors. She
Right.
always have something brew in the kitchen,
Yes.
and so we always grew up with this kind of thing. So it was always interesting for me. Even when I was not having this business, I always had so many of these things already in my kitchen cupboard. And one day I figured out why I go work and buy this thing for my cupboard, why I do not have the business of having supplement
Right.
as well as help people, because it's really my passion to help people.
Okay.
And I've been here close to 17 years.
Okay.
When we got this place, then another family had this place for close to 20 years as a help with the stores.
Right.
And we continue doing the same things and bring the more new new product and update the inventory and bring the new technology and make it to right now we almost 17 years we've been here and helping people in Sooka.
So, Karam, you obviously live in the community?
Oh yeah, I live in the community for the last 17 years. And as I said to you before, I come here because of the people here, and they are very good people and helpful, and in a small businesses we need this support.
Right.
Without the support of the people we cannot survive. But in the Sooka it has been very good, and we've been here 17 years, and I'm hoping for years to come and to be here to serve people and help people, because that is really is make my day, day to day.
Right.
It's not a matter of just a financial part of it, which is we need that to run the business, but the basic at the end of it, what's the enjoyment of it? It is helping people, and when the people, when the mother come back here and say the supplement you give me for the kids, the cold goes away, or the stomach get better, or teething get better, or other people come here with other symptoms and they say this is work, that is the way is make my day.
That's great.
Yep.
It seems that there seems to be a lot more of people starting to take care of their own health rather than always running to the doctor.
Well, that is true. That is true, because people realizing the side effects, which is they never mention to them in the long term. They mention them. They mention it to them. Maybe the earlier side effects of a week or two, and they could be aware of it. But they don't tell them like in a 6 months or a year what's happened to them. And people are starting to realize that, and then they figure out there is another alternative way of doing it without the side effects. Yes, it's not going to work as fast as the regular. Like a prescription, but it does work, because the whole idea I think we have to do as a prevention before we have a problem for a health problem. We have to preventing. We have to get have a vitamin C, have enough of vitamin B or D or any other supplement, and before we have all this problem, because at that time it's taking longer to work. But I notice here people are getting more and more into these things, which is I'm happy about that. It's for their own good, not for my business, of course, but for their own good. Then I realize they are happier with their own life, because if you do not have a pain and then you are having better life.
Right. Well, we'd like to thank you so much, Karam.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, so here we are back in Victoria after a grueling trip to Sooka, and I'm really ready for a massage. So I'll see you in a minute. So welcome back, and we're here right now with Kris Grant from Raynor Therapeutic Massage. Hi, Kris.
Hi, Phil.
Hi. Thank you so much for that massage. That was really awesome.
You're welcome.
That was really awesome. So can you please tell me a little bit about Raynor Massage and how it kind of differentiates from the regular kind of massage that everybody's used to?
Sure, I'd love to. By regular massage, you're possibly referring to like registered massage therapy,
RMTs, yeah.
Kind of typical sort of Western massage.
Mm-hmm.
So Raynor Massage is a combination of a whole bunch of different techniques, mostly drawn from ancient Eastern techniques, such as shiatsu, so it's like pressure point, staying on the points a bit longer. It's got some Thai massage component, Swedish massage, and you'll find some similarities too to the regular Western massage. So it's drawing techniques from all of those different modalities and kind of simplifying it into working along bands of tension in the body that actually correlate to the energetic meridian lines in the body.
Right.
So Raynor Massage, we're not actually performing Reiki or energy work per se, but as we're working through the body and releasing tension along those lines, the energy starts to flow better, and then it gives us room to help guide the tension out of the body.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed when you were doing your work that there's certain places that seem to be really kind of tender, or like so that you're working on that.
Yeah, and you may have noticed that sometimes that tender spot may be down the line from where the person originally comes in for the tension.
Right.
So we follow the tension band down to the root, which is often a finger or a toe.
Okay.
And so the Raynor technique will often start down at the root of the tension, and then we follow it up.
Right. So who originally developed this technique? Can you tell me a little bit about
it's a wonderful man named Brandon Raynor. He lives over in Australia, and he's had his Brandon Raynor's School of Naturopathic Therapies for about 14 years.
Right.
And so he's been trained in all of these different modalities that I mentioned, even probably a lot I don't know. But he was able to, like I said, draw some techniques that worked and put them together into one simplified system.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So for this training, did you actually have to travel to Australia for this?
I wish.
Okay.
I still hope to go to Australia and work with Brandon and meet him.
Right.
But no, they do training all over the world. It's an international school.
Okay.
So they send teachers out. It's 1 and 2 week courses initially, and then you can upgrade from there.
Okay. Cool.
So I took my course in 2018 here in Victoria,
Okay.
about a year and a half ago.
So apart from the Raynor, is there any other modalities that you use when you're doing the massage, or?
No. Strictly the only training I've had is with Raynor Massage.
Okay.
But it's very interesting that a lot of us that found ourselves at the Raynor course seem to have like already a lot of natural healing abilities. Like I've almost completely healed from some chronic pain that I've had in the past. But in learning about the body and feeling the release from different techniques, and then I started kind of working on my family members.
Right.
So just a little bit of hands-on kind of massaging family in that. Yeah, I'd always like to learn more. I've got some other training that isn't on the massage table, but I'm looking forward to adding that to my repertoire as well.
Okay.
Some energetic trauma releasing exercises. So
that sounds great.
Yeah, there's many different ways to heal and access that energy that gets stuck.
Right.
And
so you know, you're mentioning that you had some kind of healing to do for yourself. Is that what originally led you to actually do this, or did you have kind of a leaning towards doing this kind of work before?
Interestingly, when I was a teenager, for some reason, I thought I wanted to be a massage therapist.
Oh, really?
I did have a little whiplash at one point, so I had to have some massage.
Yeah.
But so I don't know, I had an inkling at a young age. I'm just very like caregiving, kind of empathetic kind of person. So there's something about that drew me there. But I kind of forgot about it.
Okay.
And then I worked in a retail job for 15 years.
Oh, okay.
Didn't quite lose my soul, but I still managed to stay true to myself. But yeah, I always knew there was something else out there that I could give to the world.
Sure.
And so yeah, probably about 10 years ago, I started to develop pain in my back.
Okay.
And yeah, originally I thought I hurt myself gardening or something, but it never got better.
Yeah.
Then all the tests, everything looked fine. And so later I started to become obsessed with healing trauma from the body.
Right.
And so in hindsight, I realized that I was overdoing it physically, but also emotionally. I was just going through a really stressful time in my life and wasn't expressing myself. And my nervous system just started to get off track a little bit.
Yeah.
And for me, you know, everybody's bodies and systems handles stress in a different way.
Sure.
But for me, it was a real tightening of the body and the muscles and the chest and sort of the trauma response.
Yeah.
The freeze response can happen. People can get stuck there.
Okay. So do you notice that a lot of your clients are suffering from kind of chronic pain, or is it stress induced, or do you know? Like, is it?
I would say I don't really know.
Yeah.
But I feel that I don't always know the exact cause, but I feel like it's a combination. Because it could be repetitive motion. Someone's done the same job for so long, and then they're not moving well, and the tension's building.
Right.
Whereas another person may be a pain in their chest that's actually from trauma. So I don't know. I feel like I get a sense of these energies stack on top of each other.
Okay.
And so.
Right.
But
and they
the
need
beauty,
to be peeled away.
But the beauty of body work and this kind of work is it actually doesn't matter. And if the person wants to share, if a trauma comes up and they want to just mention it or talk about it, that's fine. But generally, we're just finding where the energy is stuck, where the tension is, and we just work there and breathe and help to move that out. So whether it's emotional or physical at the root, we're still just providing like a safe place for the person to kind of relax and hopefully let go of some of that tension.
Right. Okay.
So
you have this awesome little studio here.
I do.
And it's part of what's the name of the actual
Yeah,
studio?
so it's Health for Life,
Oh, okay.
Pilates and chiropractor.
Right.
It's an awesome couple, the Boonas, that they've been here for over a decade.
Awesome.
And yeah, they've opened up a space for me to come do massage. And
and you're also, I hear, working out of Cobble Hill.
yeah, I live up in Cobble Hill now, so I've got a studio there for 2 days a week, and 3 to 4 days a week down here. So it's keeping me pretty busy.
Yeah, that's great. So any particular plans for the future? Are you just going to continue doing, or are you going to learn as much as you can more about it? Or?
I feel like I'd just love to learn a lot more, and I don't know exactly what that is now. But yeah, mostly focused on Raynor Massage, working with a lot of clients I'm working with sort of long term that are really doing really great. Yeah, and then I've also had the pleasure of assisting on the last Raynor course as an assistant teacher.
Oh, great.
Just a few months ago, and that's really inspiring. And so I think I'm probably going to continue to pursue that, and you might find me teaching in different cities around BC soon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I get to travel around.
Yeah, lots of fun.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, hey, Kris, thank you so much for bringing this service to the community.
You're welcome.
And all the best for your future endeavors. And thanks for being on our show.
Oh, I appreciate it so much. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you. All right. Okay, so thank you so much for joining us in this episode of the Vancouver Island Business and Lifestyle Show. Thank you. We'll see you next time. Bye for now. Thank you for watching this episode of the Vancouver Island Business and Lifestyle Show. If you would like your business or organization to appear in one of our episodes, please contact us by email at info@wamprod.com. That is info@wamprod.com. Thank you so much.